Sorry about the technical issue. Second session of day 2 of FDP on diagnostic maintenance of mechanical systems. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Gurupavan HR, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, PES College of Engineering, Mandya. Dr. Gurupavan HR has published 11 reputed international journals and 13 international conferences. His areas of expertise include condition monitoring, composite materials, robotics, artificial neural network, and machine vision system. Sir has given technical talks on condition monitoring, project management, advanced materials, metrology, drawing, and so on. With this, I request Dr. Gurupavan HR to share his knowledge on the topic condition monitoring by machine vision system. Sir, it's over to you.
Thank you, Rupesh sir, for introducing me. Am I audible, sir? Am I audible, sir? Am I audible, sir?
Now I am audible.
Yeah.
Sir, am I audible? Yes. Sorry for the inconvenience, sir. Right. Short-term cost, it consists of a design and development cost, and also what the installation cost, design and development of a product cost. So and the installation of a machinery cost. So whereas the long-term cost, it consists of the operational and maintenance cost. So the cost of condition maintenance or a condition monitoring comes under this long-term cost. Here, so according to Professor Benjamin Blanchard, long-term cost could be as I has 70 they look into what the long-term cost, that is. So they are mainly worrying about the condition maintenance of the machineries. Most of the system tend to lose sight of the long-term focus under the pressure of the short-term, that is a productivity only. So that means, so in order to improve the productivity, under the pressure of improving the productivity, so what they lose the sight on the long-term thing. So if they lose the sight on the long term, then it leads to what? So the major failure of the industries. System must concentrate on error prevention and not on error correction by adopting anticipatory proactive strategies. Clear? So here we can see the major machine maintenance philosophies: reactive maintenance, preventive maintenance, predictive maintenance, and proactive. So it is also what? The reliability centered maintenance. Then what is this reactive maintenance, preventive maintenance, and these things? So reactive maintenance, so it is also known as a breakdown maintenance. So that means it involves responding to equipment malfunctions or breakdowns after they occur in order to restore the asset to normal operating conditions. So this is what a reactive maintenance means. Then what is a preventive maintenance? Preventive maintenance, so it is the regular and routine maintenance of equipment and assets in order to keep them running and prevent any costly unplanned downtime from unexpected equipment failure, so can be avoided. Then what is this predictive maintenance? Predictive maintenance is designed to help determine the condition of in-service equipment in order to estimate when maintenance should be performed. And this proactive maintenance it works to correct the root cause of failure. Clear? So we have to think which maintenance technique has to be used for which type of industries like that. It is necessary to adapt suitable maintenance technique to detect impending failure in advance or avoid onset of failures. These are some of the common measurable parameters for a condition monitoring. So that means we can monitor the health of a machine by monitoring the temperature variation, by monitoring the change in vibration signals, or by analyzing the change in oil properties or the parameters, and by analyzing the wear debris or noise variations and the movement or the clearance gap between the two mating parts. Also we can analyze or the health of the machines. And also we can use a motor current and flux signals and ultrasonic signals to monitor the health of the machines. So these parameters are used to comprehend, quantify, trend, and depict the health of machineries, and this forms a scientific basis for maintenance. Suppose if you want to monitor or maintain the health of any machine, so we have to use any of these signals. Coming to this wire electrical discharge machining. So here in this presentation, I will going to explain how the machine vision system can be used in order to monitor the condition of wire electric discharge machine. So before explaining that concept, so I will be explaining the basic principle of this wire electric discharge machines. Wire electric discharge machining is a thermoelectrical machining process. This wire electric discharge machine is a controlled metal removal process which is used to remove metal by means of electric spark erosion. Machining of harder materials with intricate shapes and with greater accuracy is the main advantage of this wire electric discharge machine. Here you can see the schematic of this wire electric discharge machine. Wire is connected. This is a wire, so it is a molybdenum material. It is made by a molybdenum material. This is connected to one pole of power supply, and the workpiece is connected to another pole of power supply. When the distance between the workpiece and the wire reduces, a spark induces between these two electrodes, and this spark increases the temperature at the cutting zone. As the temperature increases at the cutting zone, so the workpiece material will get melted, and the melted material will be flushed away by this dielectric fluid. This is the actual working principle of the wire electric discharge machine. In this machine, this is the one of the main research field in wire electric discharge machine is related to improvement of process productivity by avoiding wire breakage. Wire breakage is the serious problem in this wire electric discharge machines. So in order to monitor the wire breakage, or in order to identify the low quality cutting regimes in advance, so we have to use some non-contact signals. So that means here, I have used vision signal in order to check the low quality cutting regimes of the wire. That means we can measure the wire wear with the help of vision systems. Vision systems are being exploited for various applications, mainly due to their high resolution, reliability, and ease of automatic processing of data. Machine vision is the technology and method used to provide image-based automatic inspection and analysis for applications such as automatic inspection, process control, and robot guidance in industries. This schematic, here in this schematic you can see how machine vision system can be used in order to measure the wire wear of this machine, and the same attachment can be used to measure the surface roughness of a machined component also. Here you can see a high resolution camera is used in order to measure the wire diameter. So that means in order to measure the wear in this wire. The image of the wire is captured by this high resolution camera, and it is sent to the PC for the analysis purpose. And the same technique is used in order to measure the surface roughness of a machined component also. Coming to this machine vision system, machine vision is the technology which is used to replace manual inspections and measurements with the digital cameras and image processing. The technology is used in different industries to automate the production, to increase production speed and yield, and to improve the product quality. So these are the prime advantages of vision systems. The basic steps in a machine vision system is the first and foremost step is image acquisition and digitization. Second step is image processing and analysis. And the third step is interpretation. In this schematic, you can see all these steps, how these steps works in order to analyze a particular image. Here, the image of the part is captured by high resolution camera. While capturing, a light source is also very important. So we will be discussing about this light source in the coming slides. The first step in this vision system is image acquisition. After acquiring the image of a particular component, the image is digitized. Next, digitized image is sent for the processing and analysis. That is, so these two things will take place in the stage 2, that is image processing and analysis, where some computer programs are used for the analysis purpose and the processing. Here we have to sometimes, like machine vision signal will also contain some unwanted signals, so we have to remove the unwanted signals by using the filters. So all these things will be incorporated in the programs which is used for the processing and analysis purpose. Then in the third stage, so the image interpretation will take place. These are the major components of a vision system: lighting, lens, image sensor, vision processing, and communications. Lighting plays a very important role while capturing the image of a component. So that is, lighting illuminates the part to be inspected, allowing its feature to stand out so they can be clearly seen by camera. In this sketch, you can see this. See, two types of, these are the two basic types of lighting. One is front light and another one is backlight. Front light is mainly used in order to analyze the surface feature of the components. So surface feature can be seen very easily if you use the front lightings. Whereas the backlight is used to obtain the information about the boundary of that particular component. So then at that time, so we have to use the backlightings while capturing the images. And coming to lens, the lens captures the image and present it to the sensor in the form of a light. So here, so the sensor or the lens and the sensor resolution should be same while capturing the images of the objects. Image sensor, the sensor in a machine vision camera converts this light into a digital image, which is then sent to the process for analysis purpose. And the vision processing, the vision processing consists of algorithms that review the image and extract required information, run the necessary inspection, and make a decision. And coming to communications, some input-output signals or data sent over a serial connection to a device that is logging information or using it. So that means, so we have some input-output in order to send or retrieve the data from the vision systems. So some input-output hardware units also has to be used. These are the major components of a machine vision system. And coming to the basic concepts of the vision system, the first and foremost one is what? The pixels and resolution. What is a pixel then? A pixel is the smallest element in a digital image. Pixel is the smallest image in a digital image, and normally the pixel in the image corresponds directly to the physical pixel on the sensor. Here you can see the image. So here you can see, so each block is called as a pixel. Each block is called as a pixel, and it is a pixel of what? Here you can see, so 8 pixel in a horizontal manner and like 8 more pixel in the vertical manner. So, and then here the coordinates are used in order to represent these pixels in a matrix form, which is used for the computation purpose. Pixel is an abbreviation of a picture element. Normally the pixels are so small that they only become distinguishable from one another if the image is enlarged. Here you can see the 8x8 pixel image. So X and Y coordinates. X corresponds to the image columns. Here you can see, so 8 columns are there in this, and the Y corresponds to the 8 rows. Here you can see some typical values of sensor resolution in 2-dimensional machine vision systems. So here you can see the VGA, XGA, and SXGA. So VGA, the resolution is very low. That is, the resolution is around 640 into 480 pixels. And the resolution of this XGA is 1024 into 768 pixel. That is extended graphics array. And SXGA is super extended graphics array. Some high resolution, so high resolution equipments or cameras, so will works on this concept. That is super extended graphics array. So where it has more number of pixels, so we can obtain a high resolution, high clarity images. Here this is what usually it is expressed or treated as a matrix, where here you can see the upper left corner is the 0,0 element. So from this, so we will going to define the size of the particular image. The purpose of the coordination system and matrix representation is to make calculation and programming easier. And the unit of this, so that means in sometimes, so we can convert this pixel into what the microns, or into what the millimeter for calculation or the programming purposes. Coming to the another very important concept of a vision system is of intensity. The brightness of a pixel is called intensity. Brightness of, see here you can see, this is a binary image. So binary means it will take the value either 0 or it will take the value either 1. And the grayscale, so it will take a value from 0 to 255. See, binary means, so one bit, that is each bit, so it carries what, the two values, 0 or 1. And see, we all know that, so we can see three types of images. One is a binary image, grayscale image, and color image. Binary image takes only 0 or 1 values, that is, it is about a bit. Whereas a grayscale image, so it will take a value from 0 to 255. 0 to 255 with respect to the variations of intensity. So if a grayscale image as a 0 means it is completely dark. If a grayscale image has the 255 value of pixels, then it means it is completely bright. So I will explain this by showing the pictures. You can understand very easily this concept. And coming to this color images, so color image means, so each pixel will consist of information about the intensity value of red, and the intensity value of green, and the intensity value of blue. So each color takes the intensity value from 0 to 255. Red, so takes the value from 0 to 255. Green, again 0 to 255, and blue 0 to 255. If red color takes a value from 0 to 255, so if a pixel has the intensity value of a 0, that means it shows the dark color, dark black. So if a pixel has 255 value in it, then it will show the red color like that. Here you can see the binary image. So it is nothing but the 1 bit. So it has a storage capacity of 1 bit. It will take a value from either 0 or 2. So it is of what? 2 levels. And grayscale image. So grayscale image. So it is of 1 byte. 1 byte equals to what? That is a 8 bit. So 2 to the power of 8 means 256. Hence it takes a value from 0 to 256. 0 equals to black and 255 equals to white in case of gray image. In case of color image, so if you consider the red color, so then if the pixel takes a value of 0, then it is what? A black. If a pixel takes a value of 255, so it is what? The complete red color like that. In between that, so it will vary the intensity of that particular color. Here you can see all three types of images. This is what? A binary image, grayscale image, and color image. So in binary image, see, you can see very easily. So that is, so there is no variations in the intensities, either black or white. You can see in this image. Whereas in grayscale image is quite different, that it will take a value from 0 to 255. Hence we can see the different intensities of brightness. If somewhere, so for example, if you consider this part, so that means it takes the value of a 0, so hence it is what? Appearing like a dark image. So if it takes a value of a 255, then it will take what? It will exhibit like in the brighter one like that. This is what the color image. It will take the value from RGB, that is a red, green, and blue. The another very important concept in the vision system is exposure time. What is this exposure time then? See, exposure is how much light is detected by the photographic film or the sensor of the vision system. And this exposure is mainly depends upon the two parameters. One is exposure time and another one is aperture size. Exposure time, it is nothing but it is the duration of exposure. So here you can see the images. So it is what the underexposed image, normally exposed image, and this is what overexposed image. So if the exposure time is very less, then the image will be like this because of what? The underexposure time. If the image is exposed, that means the duration of exposure time is very high, then the image will be like this. That means, so it would be difficult to analyze the feature of that particular image if it is overexposed. And this exposure will also depends upon aperture size. What is aperture size then? Aperture size, so it controls the amount of light that passes through the lens. Here you can see this one. So these two pictures, so will also like clearly explain what exactly the exposure is. So here, so this is what it is a topic of a motion blur. Here you can see if the object is moving and exposure time is too long, the image will be blurred and application robustness is threatened. So if an object is moving, then we have to take the photograph of that particular object with low exposure time. So exposure time is very important while capturing the images. And it depends upon these two parameters. One is exposure time and aperture size. And coming to the contrast and histogram. Contrast is nothing but it is the relative difference between bright and dark areas in the image. So that means, so if we vary the contrast of a particular image, then so it will show or it will give a huge difference between the bright images and the dark images so that the objects can be clearly visible. Here you can see this is a low contrast image. In a low contrast images, so there will be what? No difference between the bright and the dark areas. If we increase the contrast, then we can easily identify the dark and the bright areas in the particular images. Coming to the histogram, see histogram, it is a very interesting concept. This histogram concept is used in this presentation. So to explain how the surface roughness of machined component can be measured. This is what the histogram graph. A histogram, it is a diagram where the pixels are sorted in order of increasing intensity values. Here you can see, so this image so as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 different intensity value pixels. Here you can see this histogram plot. Histogram plot is a graph of number of pixels versus intensity values. Here you can see in this image, so 1, 2, 3 pixels are dark. That means these 3 pixels takes a value of 0. Here you get 0 or so very closer to 0, and here you can see that 1, 2, 3 pixels are plotted here, so which is very closer to 0. As the value nearer to 0, it exhibits what? The darker color. And so here you can see 1, 2, 3, and 4. This thing 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 pixels takes the value intensity values, so quite higher than the previous values. So 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. So like this histogram, it is a graph of a number of pixels versus the intensity values. Here you can see this histogram graph of this image and the histogram graph of this image. So this is what the normal contrast image, and this is here you can see the normal contrast image histogram plot, and this is a plot for the low contrast. In the low contrast image, so this the graph is what? It is a narrow down. Here you can see somewhat it is completely narrowed down. So that means, so either it is not taking the value very close to 0 or it is not taking the value very close to 255. The graph is quite narrowing here in this case. If we increase what this that means in a normal contrast, so we can see the intensity values from 0 to 255. And here you can see how this histogram can be varied with respect to the contrast. So here it is a component. Here you can see. So this is what the component are concentrated on the low dark side. This is what the components are concentrated on the high, that is a light side. So that means here you can see the histogram plots. Histogram plots are moving towards right here, because the image is brighter when it is compared with this image. So here in this image, the histogram plot is moving towards the left, because here the darker pixels are more. Whereas in these two cases, here in this case, so the histogram is quite narrowing. So that means, so it is not taking a value from 0 to 255. Somewhere it is taking the value from 90 to 100 or 110, like that. The components cover a wide range of intensity. Here you can see, so here we can see the dark pixels as well as bright pixels, and also we can see the pixels with varying intensity. Hence the histogram plot is scattered here. Here you can see the scattering of the histogram plot in this histogram graph. Coming to, so this is what the acquisition of images. Coming to the step 2, that is the processing and analysis. The first and foremost one is we should know about a region of interest. What does this region of interest means? So for example, if the component is machined, and if you want to measure the surface roughness of that particular component, so it is highly difficult to measure the entire surface roughness of a machined component. We have to select the particular area, and that particular area is nothing but a region of interest. Region of interest is a selected area of concern within that particular image, and the purpose of using ROI is to restrict the area of analysis and to allow for different analysis in different areas of the image. Sometimes the ROI can also be called as AOI, that is area of interest. Pixel counting is another technique which is used in a vision system. This pixel counting is used to measure the perimeter or the boundary of the particular. I will show this how the pixel counting can be used to measure the diameter of the components or the width or breadth of the components, like that. Here you can see this. So this is an automotive part, like you can see the crack in the automotive part. So here this is what the red color indicates the area of interest or the ROI, region of interest. So where we have to measure the dimension of this crack. The dimension of a crack can be measured by counting the number of dark pixels. Here you can see the dark pixels. Just by counting the number of dark pixels and by knowing the width of that dark pixel, so we can very easily analyze or find out what is the width or depth of that particular crack in the part. And another important concept is digital filters and operators. So this is very important in order to remove the noise in the vision signals. Sometimes here you can see this one. In this image you can see. So these are what sometimes, so when we capture the image of a particular object, so the vision signal also contains what? Some unnecessary things or the background images also. In order to remove the background noise or the background unwanted things, so we can use this digital filters and operators. So these are used for pre-processing the image before the analysis to remove or enhance the features. Here you can see the example of this, how the filters are used. This is the originally intensity coded 3D images. And here you can see noisy version of original image. So the image is like this, that means here you can see some dot things in the image. These dots, the unwanted signals, can be removed with the help of filters used in the vision systems. And we can we can count the number of parts, or we can measure the boundary of a particular part by using the edge detection or edge enhancement technique. Coming to the threshold, here you can see the histogram plot. Histogram plot is a plot of or the graph of a number of pixels versus a brightness or the intensity values. So intensity values takes from 0 to 256. Threshold, so it is what it is. It is a line which divides the histogram into two equal parts. we can set a threshold for 64, 96, 90, or like whatever it may be. So if we set a threshold for a particular intensity value, then it will going to divide this graph into two parts. So towards the left of this threshold line, so the complete pixel will turn to bright, and towards the right of this pixel threshold line, the pixels will turn into the black color. In order to convert a grayscale image or a colored image into black and white image, the threshold is a very important concept. So if we set a threshold value which is equal to 160, then below 160 intensity value pixel will convert into what? The white pixels, and above 160 intensity value pixels will convert into dark pixels. This is how a grayscale or color image can be converted into black and white image. And the edge finding. So edge finding is also very important while finding or computing the perimeter or the boundary of particular parts. So an edge is defined by a change in intensity. An edge is also called a transition. The task of an edge finding function is to extract the coordinates where the edge occurs. In a wire electric discharge machine, so we can use this edge finding technique in order to measure the wear in the wires. I will explain in the coming slide how this edge finding technique can be used to determine the wear in the wire electrodes. Coming to this wire electrode status visualization and monitoring. So till now I have explained about what is a condition monitoring technique, and what is a wire electric discharge machining, and what is a vision system. Let us see how this vision system can be incorporated in wire electric discharge machines. The main thing in a wire electric discharge machine is, so we have to monitor the wire, and we have to monitor the surface roughness of a machined component, so we can find the low quality cutting regimes in advance. If we know the low quality cutting regimes, that means if the surface roughness of the component goes on increases, then immediately we have to change the wire in that machine. Otherwise, the wire will break and it leads to waste of time. In order to avoid that, we have to monitor or we have to measure the wire wear, and also we have to measure the surface roughness just to know the status of wire. In order to measure these two things, so I have used a high resolution camera, which is nothing but a Nikon D90 camera. Image is captured by using this camera, and the program is written in a MATLAB software using image processing toolbox. So was used for analysis of the captured image, and the electrode wear vision parameters is measured by using the written program. Here you can see this is the image of the wire electrode before machining. This is a wire which is used in wire electric discharge machine, and this is the image of the wire electrode before machining. So the region of interest is selected in this particular image. This is the region of interest, and the width and height of this ROI is calculated by counting the number of pixels in this area. Here you can see this. Here you can see this. The width is what? Around 38 pixels. The width is a 38 pixels, and the height is a 28 pixel here. This is what? This is the image of the fresh wire, and this is the image of used wire. So that means after the usage of this wire, so some worn out will take place in this wire. So here you can see this is the image of wire electrode after machining, and again here also we have to select the ROI in order to analyze that particular region. So this is what this is a binary image of this one, binary image. So this is what a colored image. Colored image is converted into grayscale, and then it is converted into binary image with the help of predefined programs. Here this binary image after selection of the region of interest. So here the width and height of this ROI is calculated by counting the number of pixels with the help of predefined program in the MATLAB software. Here you can see the width of this is what, around 36 pixels. Width is 36 pixels and the height is different. So forget about. So here, like, so we are worrying about only the width of this wire, because the diameter decreases as the machining time increases. So this is how wire wear can be monitored with the help of a vision system. And coming to the roughness measurement using this vision system, here, so we all know what is a roughness. So roughness is nothing but the irregularities present on the surface of a machined component. We can see the cutting tool marks on the machined component. It is nothing but the surface roughness. Surface roughness can be measured with the help of conventional circumflex or a surface roughness measuring instrument. Here I have used a vision system. Vision system is a non-contact type of measurement, just in order to monitor the variation in surface roughness. So if the variation increases, so we can change the wire, or we can change the cutting parameters, or we can change the dielectric fluid in that particular machine, so that we can monitor the machine very easily with the help of this data. The irregularities present on the surface. So we can see what if we illuminate the light on the machined component, light it is quite difficult to penetrate into what a deeper section. Light will not penetrate very easily into what the valleys, and light will very easily reflect from the peaks of that irregularity. Here I will show that the image of this. Here you can see this. So this is a component machined by using wire electric discharge machine. Here you can see the irregularities on this image. So if an image, or if the component irregularities are more, that means the peaks and valleys are more, then light will not penetrate very easily into valley of that particular component. So that means, so image will be a darker. So that means image will consist of a dark pixels as well as white pixels if the surface roughness of component is very high. If the surface roughness of component is like surface finish is good, then we can see the brighter pixels in the captured image. Here you can see this in the surface texture. If the valley is deeper, then corresponding area in the image appears to be a dark. And in the same way, if the peak is higher, then the corresponding area appears as brighter in the image. For this reason, the percentage of brighter area is higher in smooth surfaces compared to the rough ones. And this principle is used to evaluate surface texture using a vision system. Here program is written with the help of this flow chart. Here you can see this. So this is a flow chart, start and number of images. Then a program will going to read the particular image. If an image is a colored image, then the colored image is converted into grayscale image, and then it will convert it into black and white image. From that black and white image, with the help of this equation, the surface roughness value can be determined. If the captured image is a black and white image, then directly it is what it is subjected for the calculation of GA value. Here you can see this is what a GA by 1 by n summation of 0 to 255 Fi Xi, where Fi is the number of pixels at gray level Xi, and Xi are the gray levels. It will take a value from 0 to 255. And n is the total number of pixels in the distribution. Here you can see this. This is a histogram plot. Histogram, it is a plot of intensity values with respect to the number of pixels. Here you can see these are the two images. This is the workpiece surface image machined with a fresh electrode. That means the surface roughness of this image is quite good. And this is the another image of the workpiece machined with worn electrode. That means the surface roughness here you can see very easily the lines on the surface of this image. That means, so the irregularities are more in this image. And for these two things, the histogram plots are plotted here. Here for smoother surface, so it will take a value towards a 255. For rougher surface, it will take a value towards the zero intensity values. Here you can see if the component is smoother, then the peak of this histogram will move towards right. That means the more the image consists of more number of brighter pixels if the image or if a component has a good surface finish. If a component has a more irregularity, then you can see the histogram plot will shift towards the zero, which indicates that more dark pixels are there in this particular image, which tells us that the image is the surface roughness of this particular image is more. And so this equation is used to calculate the GA value of the machined components. Coming to this, why machine vision instead of a human inspectors? That means like we can use a normal traditional devices to measure surface roughness, or we can use a traditional equipments to measure the diameter of wire wear. Here, if you use a machine vision system, so it is about a non-contact type. So that means a vision, so it will not make any mark on the components. So it and we can capture the images very quickly, and also we can find out the values of the wire wear and the surface roughness. That means if we use the vision system in the industry, then the productivity will get increases. Machine vision works tirelessly. So that means, so these are the advantages or benefits of using a vision systems to monitor the conditions of machines. So vision systems work tirelessly, vision system works faster, and vision system is more consistent. So if you use a vision system to monitor the health of the machines, we can increase the productivity. And thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your valuable knowledge on the topic condition monitoring by machine vision system. Now, I request the participants to clear their queries. I repeat, participants can now clear their queries.
Sir, hello.
Yes,
hello.
Sir. Please go ahead.
Sir, which is the best book to start the MATLAB knowledge?
MATLAB, you can refer Kodanrama book, sir.
Kodanrama. Okay, sir. That's all, sir. Thank you.
Any other questions? Please. Hope that the queries are over. Sir, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.